What's up, folks? I'm Private Hudson, and today we're going to be taking a look at Warpips, which is currently in early access on Steam. It launched on April 29th, and I've been playing it on and off since then. For a little $12 game, I gotta say that I like it. It's a tug-of-war strategy game where you spawn units and they automatically go and start attacking the enemy. I really like the aesthetic and soundtrack of Warpips. They really nail down the old school vibe of Command & Conquer in sound and style. The gameplay is fun too. Your goal is to conquer each island. Currently there are 3. You start out on one spot of the map and keep expanding by winning battles until you finally take over the enemy's main base. When you select which area of the island that you'll attack next, you can see what types of enemies you'll be up against. You can also view the difficulty of the battle, the time limit, as well as the strength of the enemy waves that you'll encounter during the course of the battle. This should give you an idea of what units to select for your own loadout to counter them. At first, you'll only have access to Zerg-like mercenary units and all-purpose Warpips. As you get further in, you'll get access to tacticians that provide an accuracy buff to units around them and also call down airstrikes, shield pips, heavy gunners, snipers, anti-infantry dogs, and several vehicles. You'll also gain access to environmental objects, such as sandbags and barbed wire, structures that speed up income production, and a couple of defensive and offensive support items like sentry guns, smoke grenades, tear gas, drones, and rockets. The important thing to note about Warpips is that the units that you take with you to battle, they get consumed if you win. Here's where the strategy and planning come in. If you're up against 2 infantry units for the entire battle, and you decide to bring with you vehicles, sentry guns, mines, and expensive and rare infantry units to fight them, well, guess what? Not only is that overkill, but you lose those units after you win. What I like to do is take the bare minimum with me that'll get me through the fight and allow me to stockpile the rewards to use for more difficult missions later on. Resources here are finite. During combat, you earn cash passively. You can spawn units with cash as long as you have enough pip supply. Your units will get levels after killing a certain amount of enemies. Levels earn you combat points, which can be used to increase pip supply, increase cash, or advance unit ranks, which require 4 points for rank 1 and then another 5 for rank 2. I usually rush these ranks immediately since the passive buffs that they provide you are invaluable. Lastly, you have 2 active abilities, a defensive one and an offensive one. Using the defensive one sends your units into cover and increases their range, while the offensive one has them charge forward and improves their accuracy. They share the same meter that fills up as enemies are killed. After winning a battle, you'll unlock your rewards and Warbucks, which aren't much of a surprise since you're shown the map's rewards when you're selecting it, so I don't know why they have you click on every single unit card because you already know what you're gonna get. The Warbucks are used to purchase permanent passive buffs in the upgrade screen or buy units and equipment from the arms dealer. The upgrades should be your main focus as you can increase unit health, magazine capacity, starting pip supply, decrease the cost of buildings and vehicles, and increase the amount of things the arms dealer sells, and many more. Once you're done, pick another spot on the island to attack and rinse and repeat until you either A, run out of lives, or B, beat the game. Warpips has received a lot of balance updates already. At launch, the game was extremely hard because the units that you took with you got consumed even if you lost. This led to an inevitable death spiral as you had no way of replenishing your resources. The last stage of the second island was extremely difficult as the enemy was sending tanks at you immediately at the start of the round before you've had a chance to generate enough resources to even spawn your own vehicles, or some of your better infantry units were still on cooldown. Now, the game is a bit too easy in my opinion. Mercenaries were toned down as they were considered OP, as there were some videos of some players finishing the game by only using mercenaries, by just spamming them non-stop. Now you're limited to only spawning 3 at a time before a cooldown kicks in, but they're still extremely strong units, and I use them all the time. Vehicle costs were reduced, so it's easier to spawn them. Some other unit changes were implemented as well. Cost of items that the arms dealer sells has also decreased. With the random sales he has, it's now a bit easier to stock up on some of the more rare equipment and units. Easy and hardcore campaign difficulties were added as well. I've put 13 hours into Warpips, but the campaign itself currently has around 2 to 3 hours of content if you're able to finish it in one go. They do plan on adding more units, maps, islands, etc. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this game develops further. Honestly, my only real complaint about Warpips is the randomly generated names of the maps. It's just a random adjective followed by a random noun, so you get some real dumb names like boring spoon, thoughtless teeth, big fart. Please change this. Also, the AI isn't that great. Vehicles tend to get stuck on terrain or on top of other vehicles that have been destroyed, while infantry just loves to walk into mines, and sometimes they can wipe out your entire army if they're all grouped up together. Well, that's the end of this video. If you've enjoyed it and want to see more videos like this, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you folks next time.